Welcome back to REDGUNSHOW into Monsaic Lines. Alright. Let's see what's going on here. Pretty nice little addition to the epic poetry of the game, in all honesty. Wow. Cracked his head right open. The wise will mimic the passage.
That's not it. Nope,
Oops.
try again.
Wrong button. Sorry.
You can go.
Huh. Awesome. Cool little mask that native Budokan there is wearing. Pretty neat. This is actually, I think this is teaching me how to chant, if I remember right. Yep. in case you haven't done it yet so far in this game, it's going to teach you how to chant because that's the sligs. It's actually funny. It's on the back of the original Abe's Oddysee CD case. This is the scene that you see right here. Actually, it's more like right here. It's the possession orbs going to the slig right here. And it says possession is 9 units tall. But anyway, on to the game. I have 30% completed, or 30% of Budokan's rescued, and I was looking at the best time for this area. I think it said 1 minute and 59 seconds. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Of course, I'm not doing a speed run in this game. This is just a casual play. You know, due to the nature of a let's play, trying to explore every little nook and cranny of the game and giving a little insight into the game and the history of the series. And it came to my attention that a lot of people didn't know that there is an art book. Also, the first mention of Shrykull right there, which is kind of neat. Little foreshadowing about later events in the game. Yes, there is an art book that Oddworld Inhabitants did put out. You know, that Lorne Lanning himself did arrange. You see all the native Budokans in the background. That's kind of neat.
Oh. Right there.
Guess I got too close too quick. Stop. Asshole.
Halt. Okay, you can pass.
That's so funny. I don't know why I think it's so funny. But anyway, yeah, it's called Oddworld, the first 10 years. It goes into a little bit of talk. That's a pun. Levers work well. Hell, even these stone tablets have real beautiful artwork on them. Anyway, I do have a hard copy of the book, which I love. It's put out by Ballistic Publishing, and you can still actually find them online at Ballistic Publishing's website. That is a slingshot that Mudokon is holding, in case you couldn't tell. But it talks. The book I'm referencing talks about the history of the studio. You know, Oddworld Inhabitants, and how he, as in Lorne Lanning and Sherry McKenna. Lorne Lanning approached Sherry McKenna. The little mention of Shrykull there, so anybody who's never played or who is unfamiliar with the franchise, man, who is Shrykull? What are they talking about? Well, anyway, Lorne Lanning approached Sherry McKenna about starting a production company, his own production company. And Sherry McKenna came on board, and Oddworld Inhabitants was born in 1994. They got a team together. Just more game mechanic stuff, really. And then, after getting the team together 3 years later, they were able to put out Abe's Oddysee in September of '97. This is something I'll be doing for the next 3 sections. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections of this game. These, I'm gonna get a song, and then I'm gonna possess bells to unlock a door. Find bell song, then chant. Nearer. Bells. Simple enough, right? About the history of the company. It's kind of I always love reading the history of companies and people's intellectual property, because the original idea, or the original sketch of Abe, he was a monk, you know, a robe-dressed monk, and that's where the stitch lips came from, because of, you know, monks traditionally, ha ha ha, don't talk. So that's that. Yeah. All right. Yep. Really mistimed my jump there. Anyway. Now thankfully I don't have to memorize this. It just does it itself, which is very nice. Whoops. But the original name of Oddworld was SoulStorm. And for those of you who have played Abe's Exodus, you know that's a name that they reuse in the franchise later. You know, I mean past Abe's Oddysee, SoulStorm Brewery, which is, you know, a throwback to the people who actually knew, even though you didn't know until later. But, yeah, get off of the fireflies here. Yeah. Chant and birds will heal. Oh, Cool. I had no idea because I'm playing on hard and everything kills me. The Magog Cartel. You can tell that by that word alone, Magog Cartel. You can tell that Lorne Lanning really wrote out like the entire series that that he was going to produce into 5 separate games before he ever started.
Stop. No, that is not it. Okay, you can go.
Awesome. Flintlock. Something else I'll be doing in the next 5, or including this one, 5 sections of the game. Here we go. What's this? I bet this says leap of faith. My God, it does. Yep, see, there we go. I consider myself to be a pretty well versed in the history of Oddworld. If anybody has a question, just shoot us a line on Facebook.com/RedGunShow. We'll be happy to talk about it. You will return. That's a what above me right there, that little leather tarp, that's the chute of a well right there. Whee. Yep, yeah, definitely just as beautiful as it ever could be. What is that in the background? Is that a... Oh, those are Mudokons chanting. Okay. Right there, that's a little foreshadowing that they were going to, that originally they were going, and they did, you know, make an extra game, namely Abe's Exodus, what we were just talking about, in the Magog Cartel. The Magog Cartel is, this out all these ass nuggets. Okay, so let's just do that, show you guys. So that just opens the wells, Paramonia, and Scribania. Then the next 2 sections of the game, I have to choose one, then come back and do the other. That was an interesting little caricature of Shrykull right there to the right, that screen that we just saw. But anyway, this is a cool little piece right here in the middle that I'm standing right in front of. On the top, well actually, there's 3 rungs. In the middle there, that's a paramite, and on the bottom, that's a scrab. Little. Caricature is the wrong word to use, really, but It's because in the original game, the Paramonia videos are first in the list of videos on the game. I always do Paramonia first. Actually, in my very first playthrough of the game, I did Scribania first. And I thought I did something wrong because the Paramonian videos are first. So I didn't do anything. Or so actually, I ended up restarting the game, rather. Because, well, I got stuck and I thought I did something wrong. But I just couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do. But anyway, just before I end this segment and go on to Paramonia, because that's where I'm going. The Magog Cartel. Now, it might be another 5 or 6 years before, if Abe's Exodus is remade, it very well could be another few years. It just depends on the how many copies of this game that you're watching are sold. So, if you are a fan of Oddworld, please support Oddworld Inhabitants, support Jaw, buy this game, spread the word, go on all your little social media sites, and do what you do, anything to spread the word. Oddworld Inhabitants has its own Facebook page. Oddworld New and Tasty, this very game has its own Facebook page. I'm an editor on that page. But anyway, the Magog Cartel is run by, the entire Magog Cartel is run by Mullock, my boss, Abe's boss. So he himself is the big boss of Rupture Farms. So he's over Rupture Farms, Fico Depot, the Bone Works, and the brewery itself. Which that's all in Abe's Exodus, except for Rupture Farms. This is pretty much a game to introduce you to all the canon in the world, to this universe. Abe's Exodus is the real story that Lorne Lanning put out, but because it was playing as just a quintology, and Abe's Exodus is considered an extra game, not part 2 in that original quintology. He just called it an extra game, even though, like I said, it was the original actual idea. But anyway, without further ado, Paramonia.
I saw Paramonia, ancient and wild, where paramites lived before I was a child.
Back up a little, you don't want to get shot. Hey, you don't want to get shot. Just back up. There you go.
But we rounded them up, ignored their cries.
Alright, we got this made me get to take off early. I love that. Come on, just do
We cut them all up for paramite pies.
See, in the original game, that video was just a cinematic. That wasn't considered a full motion video. And it's nice to see that they actually done it justice in this remake. And the next section is Paramonia, so there we go.